Today we are gonna be installing the fuel system on the truck. I did went ahead and go with dual 525 Hellcat pumps on this truck. I think it should be plenty for what I'm trying to push for. And yeah, so right now I'm gonna be dropping the tank, running the lines all the way to the front to the regulators. I do have the regulators in, where are they at? Ooh, right here. So that went with 4 Innovations fuel regulators, but I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to our official sponsor, Pro Touring Shop. They went ahead and sent us the fuel regulators for the truck, so that's what we are going to be installing today. I do have the AN lines, I do have the AN fittings, so yeah, right now we're going to start working on that. Like I said, I did go with 525 Hellcat pumps dual, so that's what I'm gonna be running in this truck, and I think it should be plenty enough fuel for the truck for what I'm trying to push forward. Now I do have almost everything here, so I can assemble the turbo system as well. All I'm missing is the turbos and some fire rings and something like that. This week I'm gonna be picking them up, and also the injectors, so that I'm gonna need as well. So right now let's drop the tank, install the fuel system, and yeah, so let's do that. I'm about to drop the tank. I released this little valve thing. Oh shit, you can't see shit. You can somewhat see. But there's a tube right here that you gotta disconnect. That's the one that connects to this, to the gas fit, to fill up the tank. And there's 2 evap lines. There's an evap line and a fuel line that you gotta disconnect from this side right here. That's why there's a rag. But yeah, good thing it's E85, it dries out. Let's bring down the tank. And oh, 2 more screws. They're on those brackets right there. There's 1 and 1. So let's bring down this tank, remove the fuel hat, and assemble the pumps. So yeah, let's do that. Alright guys, the tank is fully down. We're going to be replacing the fuel hat. To disconnect this, you got to disconnect this. You got to disconnect this one first so you can get to this one and rotate it and disconnect both. And it does have 2 buttons right there, 1 on each side. And yeah, you take them off. Then this one, you pretty much red tab, you pull it from over here with this pick, and then you press on it and take it out. But first, I am gonna blow all this dust and debris out. It does have a lot. Alright guys, I took off the lock that locks this thing down, and easy comes, the fuel pump comes out. Now there is a AN, well not an AN, one of these connections inside, so make sure you disconnect that before you pull the whole thing out. And this way is to unlock, that way is to lock. So it shows it right here. In case you don't see it or you don't remember, there it is, lock, unlock. So yeah. I just took off all the fuel thing, the connection. Tank's right there, I'm gonna cover it up right now. And now it's time to install the new one, which is dual pump with fuel lines and AN line and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'll show you in a bit. I am on installing the pumps. So yeah, it's dual pumps, fuel pumps. I already took off all the pieces. You see how the filter is? That filter is dirty. Oh shit. That filter is dirty as f. Well, good thing I'm changing it. But yeah, let me put the filters on these, install this back on, and do the connections and all the wiring. You'll see that in a few minutes. Guys, that's how it looks. A billet plate, there's a vacuum line right there, so that's what this is. This goes right there, assembled, and then there's a little vacuum, like I said, that connects from right here to right there. And then this hose right here connects all the way to the top, which is going to be on this fill neck. Where you can see it, it's right there. This is going to be the new feed, this is going to be the return. So yeah guys, We are almost done. I'm about to connect this to these two right here and assemble the whole thing back up and then put it back onto the tank and start the AN lines. So hopefully by today we at least put the tank back up and do the first line to the fuel filter and the return line, and that should be good for today. And then tomorrow we'll probably continue adding the line all the way to the fuel rails to the high fuel pump as well. And yeah,
one eternity later.
All right guys, I finally finished. Let me show you the final product. Being dual fuel pump, 525 each, and they all run with their lines all the way. Level sender works, connections work. One connects to this side, one connects to that side, and then this is the feed and return. I'm about to drop it back in and connect all the cables and test it to see if it works. And yeah, I'll show you all that once I put it back inside the tank. The fuel pumps are installed. Now to connect that line right here, which connects right here, and then it connects over here. I'm gonna connect the harness. I'm gonna show you where to connect the harness and the lines, which lines goes to which line, so we can run this fuel pump. If I hear it cut on, it's gonna be a good sign. On both pumps, I'm gonna try it out. All right guys, have a mess, but it works. Now, I went ahead and did a small little AN fitting. I just connected it right there. It's not fully, but if you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, this is one of the fuel pumps that's gonna turn on. No, spilled a little bit. You see how fast it did? I'm about to try the second one. That's just crazy. It does work. I'm glad it does. I'm about to connect everything back on to the truck, raise the truck. I'm gonna put the tank back in and connect the first AN line that runs. We'll connect two AN lines. One for the return and one for the feed. I'm glad it does work. I was nervous, I was anxious, I was like, oh, I hope it does work, I hope it does work. But it does work. Let me find where to put the fuse and the relay and start wiring up everything else as far as the connections for the second fuel pump. And yeah, so I forgot to say, the second fuel pump is gonna be running off of a hop switch. So that's gonna be running off of a hop switch. I think the thing is 2 pounds or 5 pounds, 5 PSI. As soon as it detects that, it connects, it automatically turns on the second pump. So I am so happy it does work. But I did my first AN line straight. I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna put the filter on the truck. It kind of got dark already, but I'm gonna figure out where I can put this filter on, which is also a 4 filter inline fuel filter, 88 millimeter element. So yeah, that's this right here. I'm gonna figure out where I can put it, and yeah, so let's do that. Guys, I went ahead and connected it right here. I am gonna run the line through there to right here, and then the return is gonna go all the way straight as well. And there's the lines all the way. Little quick update before I start putting up the tank. I did a little bit of wiring. There you go. That's the power line for the relay, and the ground is right there. This is the one for the fuel pump. They're all ran through this hole that I found through the cab. I'll show you in a bit where it leads from. And yeah, so the negative, the power, this is the trigger wire, and the actual power for the fuel pump. All we need now is the negative for the fuel pump, which is going to be grounded somewhere here in this chassis, and lift up the tank, put it back together, start running the AN lines. So yeah, and I went ahead and did this for a more professional look, and so it won't look as bad with just wires running through everywhere. So yeah. Alright guys, everything connected perfectly fine. You see the AN lines finally run down. I got the connections. I have the fuse for the last one. All the connections stayed OEM. You see right there, right here, and one all the way over there. Just the 2 AN lines. Return and a feed. And there you go. They're running that way. You see the fuses right there. So it was a bitch to put this tank back on, literally. Pero we got it con puro chingazo, and we got it. And look at this carbon fiber drive shaft. Badass. Let's strap this side back on and call it a day. All right, guys, that's all for today. I am tired, beat, but we were able to put the tank back on with the dual 525 Hellcat pumps. Literally less parts that I have to install. On the next video, you're gonna see me running the lines all the way from the fuel filter all the way to the manifold, connect the wires and all that sort of stuff. You're gonna see more of that. Like I said, the line, it primes itself. So the first line, just like factory, it primes itself. I have not connected it to the fuel filter, but it did prime itself. You see a little bit of gas there. The first pump does prime itself for the lines. The second pump is going to be activated by a hop switch, which is going to be around, I think, 4 psi or 2 psi. I'm not really quite sure. Then as soon as the hop switch detects 2 or 4 psi, is going to cut on, and both pumps are going to be turned on for as much boost as I'm going to be pushing. All I need right now is going to be the turbo kit, like I said, and the injector. So maybe tomorrow I'll be picking up some injectors. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or on the next video I'll see y'all installing the second step to this fuel system. So I'll catch you on the next one.